Good morning and very warm welcome to everyone present. We will commence with a welcome address by His Excellency Mr. Shibi George, Ambassador of India to Japan. Welcome to the stage, sir. はじめに、駐日インド大使、シビ・ジョージ閣下より開会ご挨拶をいただきます。
Good morning, everybody. Actually, we are starting early. Sri Vijay Nehra, Secretary, Government of Gujarat, Head of the Gujarat delegation who are joining us today. Mr. Teshikoko Fukuwara, Director General, JETRO, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. I extend a very warm welcome to you all. In India's transformational journey, Vibrant Gujarat event played a significant role as a game changer. Whenever India's economic success story is written, the story of Vibrant Gujarat always is written in golden letters. Conceptualized and launched in 2003 by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, who then was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. This summit has earned a global reputation for its role in fostering investment, innovation, and growth in the region. I am very delighted to address this gathering to this curtain raiser event. I welcome each one of you to Embassy of India today morning. Dear friends, Japan has been a partner country for the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit since 2009. Japanese companies have been steadily expanding their presence in Gujarat since then. Gujarat still is a hot cake. It's very clear with the presence of large number of our friends who have come here to participate in this event, and we have a full house today. Dear friends, economic relations, as we know, have traditionally been the major pillar of the partnership between India and Japan. Japan has always played an important role in India's economic success story and is actively involved in various national campaigns and flagship initiatives. In addition to supporting several important infrastructure projects in India, Japan has been one of the largest investors in the country. Recent years have seen deepening of our strategic ties in several sectors such as semiconductors, ICT, energy, and science and technology. In each of these sectors, the role of Gujarat in attracting investment and building partnership has been significant. It is no exaggeration to state that in several sectors, our engagement with Japan starts with Gujarat and continue to flourish with Gujarat. Dear friends, in my almost 1 year stay in Japan, I had the opportunity to travel all across this beautiful country. This week, I completed 34 prefectures, and in each of these prefectures, I could see the momentum for India at all levels, at the political level, at the business level, and at the people-to-people level. I am confident that in coming days and weeks and months, we would be able to convert this momentum into investment and business collaboration. There are around 1,500 Japanese companies operating in India. My target is to make it 15,000. We need is not, what we need is not an incremental progress. What we need is a quantum leap. And I am sure that there are so many hundreds of success stories in our economic engagement. We will be able to meet this target. Two countries are now committed to the target of realizing 5 trillion in Japanese investment in both public financing and private investment in the next 4 years in India. India today has emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Before COVID-19 pandemic started in 2019, India was the fastest growing large economy in the world. And this year, we continue to grow as fast as 7.2%. Despite the many challenges of the pandemic, India implemented several economic reforms to attract foreign investment, including simplifying tax regulations, easing restrictions on foreign ownership, and investing in infrastructure development. As a result, India has been consistently ranked as one of the most attractive investment destinations in the world. The Production Linked Incentive (PLI) scheme has been a game changer, which is contributing in India's transformation as a global manufacturing hub. The budget 2023-24 set 7 priorities such as inclusive growth, reaching the last mile, infrastructure and investment, unleashing the potential, green growth, youth power, and financial sector. We are actively pursuing the development of infrastructure and connectivity in the country, which will create new opportunities for Japanese businesses. We are investing in areas such as roads, railways, airports, and ports, which will not only enhance the movement of goods and people, but also create new business opportunities. Our government is committed to promoting sustainable and inclusive development, which will create a better future for all. I invite all Japanese companies to take advantage of the opportunities that Gujarat offers, including by fully utilizing the plug-and-play facilities at the Dholera Smart City, which is India's first greenfield smart city. The 10th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2024 is scheduled from 10th to 12th January 2024 at Gandhinagar. I would like to invite all of you to be part of the 10th edition of the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Thank you very much. Wish the curtain raiser event a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your remarks. Next, we will have a very special audio film on Vibrant Gujarat 2024. Please see the screen. 続きまして、バイブラント・グジャラート2024のビデオを上映いたします。スクリーンをご覧くださいませ。
パパ、ここに何ができるの？
君の明るい未来だ。20年前、グジャラート州首相だったナレンドラ・モディ首相がグジャラート州の土壌に未来への種をまいた。そこには挑戦と困難が待ち受け、無数の壁と制約があったが、臆することなく進み続け、さらに先を考えた。彼の先見的なリーダーシップはそれらをすべて乗り越えた。地平線の先を見越し、時代の先を行き、未来を見つめた。困難に対応し、逆境を乗り越え、新たなチャンスを意欲的に探り続けた。
20 साल पहले हमने एक छोटा सा बीज बोया था। आज वो इतना विशाल और बृहद वाइब्रेंट वटवृक्ष बन गया।
画期的なグジャラートグローバルサミット。一人の男、最前線で導く一つのアイディア、最高指導者の君臨。20年、衝撃的な変革をもたらす。10万件の覚書を締結。約7万5千件の試運転が完了または完成段階にある。550億ドルの海外直接投資。シュリ・ナレンドラ・モディは忍耐と信念を持って 活力あるグジャラートを掲げ、先見性のある取り組みは、ビジネスネットワーキング、知識の共有、戦略的パートナーシップのためのグローバルプラットフォームへとなった。インド初の国際金融サービスセンター。世界最大のダイヤモンドハブ。世界一高い銅像。インド初の石油化学投資地域。インド初のグリーンフィールドスマートシティ。インド最大のハイブリッドエネルギーパーク。インドからの最高輸出額を達成。ビジネスのしやすさ、暮らしやすさ。ビジネスに優しい政策により、各分野で次世代の都市計画を促進する最先端のインフラ。グジャラート州はおそらく国内のどこよりも際立っており、その功績はモディ氏にある。グジャラートといえば自信、ビジョン、先進性、そしてもちろんやればできるという姿勢が思い浮かぶ。グジャラート州における信頼性の取り組みは、州の精神を称えるためのパートナーシップだ。10億人のインド国民に夢を与える精神が素晴らしい。皆が力を合わせれば、世界最大の民主主義国家であるインドが、極度の貧困に終止符を打つことができると確信している。インドの人々が私たちの国に与えたインプット、ビジネス、科学、イノベーションに感謝している。この20年は序章に過ぎない。グジャラート州は改革と変貌を遂げ、革新し続けている。より高い志を目指し、進み続ける。世界は片巣を飲んで待っている。グジャラートが夢見るとき、インドは思い描く。そして、インドが踏み出すとき、世界は驚嘆する。トゥベンドラ・パテル州首相の指導のもと、アムリットカール期間中の第1回活力あるグジャラートサミットを目前に控え、グジャラート州はナレンドラ・モディ首相のビジョン、自立した先進国へ2047年までの実現に向けて積極的な役割を果たすべく万全の体制を整えている。活力あるグジャラートグローバルサミット2024では、グジャラート州の奔放な熱意、揺るぎない情熱、満ち溢れる自信、そして優れたオプティミズムが未来に向かって進む姿を目にすることができる。スマート製造からスマートビジネスまで、グジャラート州はインダストリー 4.0 で第4次産業革命を先導。また、グジャラート州は宇宙技術、人工知能、機械学習、ブロックチェーン、物のインターネットをセクターにわたり活用し、スマートで接続されたインフラを構築することで、イノベーションを推進する。グジャラート州は、その繁栄する第一次産業、強固な製造業、そして急成長する第三次産業により、インドの5兆ドル経済への道のりに 10% 近く貢献する準備が整っている。ここ数年の間に、インドは世界第3位の経済大国になることが期待できる。グジャラート州は中小零細企業 MSMEs や女性起業家を支援し、若者中心のスキル開発エコシステムを構築。スタートアップや e コマースの東大として、インドのテックエイドを先導している。グジャラート州は繊維、医薬品、医療機器、セラミック、バイオテクノロジーなど各分野に特化したプラグ&プレイパークの促進を目指している。包括的な成長を推進するグジャラート州は、半導体や電子機器製造の分野で大きな影響を与え、持続可能性とネットゼロエミッションの道を開拓。循環経済の可能性を解き放ち、インドのグリーン水素ミッションを触媒する。航空宇宙と防衛のアイコニックなプロジェクトを進め、バッテリーや 揚水発電ソリューションへの投資によって、電気自動車とクリーンエネルギーの中心地になることを目指している。
આજે ગ્લોબલ ફોર્ચ્યુન 500 કંપનીઓમાંથી અનેક કંપનીઓ ગુજરાતમાં પોતાના કારોબાર શરૂ કર્યા છે. આ બધું વાઇબ્રન્ટ સમિટની સફળતાને કારણે જ શક્ય બન્યું છે.
活力あるグジャラートグローバルサミットは開発用エコシステムを構築。
ये रुकने का समय नहीं है. पिछले 20 वर्षों से अगले 20 वर्ष ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है. यही समय है जब भारत को एक ऐसा रोड मैप बनाना होगा जो उसे 2047 तक एक विकसित आत्मनिर्भर राष्ट्र के रूप में हम उसको दुनिया के सामने प्रस्थापित करें.
ぜひ活力あるグジャラートグローバルサミット2024未来への入り口へご参加ください。
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite His Excellency Vijay Nehra, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, to share a few words on the upcoming Vibrant Gujarat Summit 2024. 続きまして、グジャラート州政府科学技術部ネーラビジャイネーラ次官よりご挨拶をいただきます。
Konnichiwa. A very good morning to all of you. From the land of Mahatma Gandhi to the land of rising sun, a warm namaste to all of you. His Excellency Mr. George, Ambassador of India to Japan, all of the senior officers from the Indian Embassy, and most importantly, all of the invitees present here today. On behalf of the government of Gujarat, I extend a very warm welcome in our first international roadshow for the upcoming Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit to be held in January 2024 from 10th to 12th. Over the next 20 minutes, I'll be giving you a brief overview of the opportunities for investment that exist in Gujarat and the new opportunities that are emerging. I will also briefly share the schedule for the Vibrant Gujarat Summit in January 24. This gives a brief overview about the state, Gujarat. Gujarat has only 5% of India's population, only 6% of India's geographical area, but it contributes to 18% of India's manufacturing. It's often known as the growth engine and the manufacturing hub of India. As we will see, consistently, Gujarat has been ranking very highly in various ease of doing rankings, logistics rankings, good governance rankings. It is for this reason that Gujarat continues to be the preferred investment destination for all foreign companies. In terms of connectivity, ports, railways, airports, a very well-connected state. I would like to share some of the mega projects that are taking shape in Gujarat, right from the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor and the dedicated freight corridor, which passes through the state of Gujarat, to the Gift City, which I'll talk in more detail later on, which is India's first smart fintech city, and also the Dholera Special Investment Region, which is India's first and biggest greenfield industrial smart city, along with the Dream City, and also how the high-speed rail from Ahmedabad to Mumbai being done with the help of Japan, and several greenfield ports, and how also Gujarat aims to build the world's largest renewable energy park with a capacity of 30 gigawatts. This, as we will see, because of the ease of doing business and a conducive investment climate, all of the big global majors, as you can see, already have significant presence in Gujarat. I will now talk briefly about the Gift City. The Gift City is a new greenfield city with a compact mixed-use land planning development right next to Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar, less than 20 minutes from the Ahmedabad airport, which has been designed using the latest urban planning concept. It uses the concepts of a district cooling system, the first operational district cooling system in South Asia, wherein you do not need building level air conditioning. Also, an automatic waste collection system and a utility tunnel. These are some of the concepts of urban planning and design which we do not even get to see in several developed countries. But here, Gujarat has tried to leapfrog and create a greenfield city which has all of these concepts. And because of this, as you will see, there is a command and control room, and all of the utilities are neatly stacked in a utility tunnel with CCTV cameras, and service crews can go inside these utility tunnels. So it's a dig-free city. And as you will see already, all of these key players in the banking, finance, insurance, IT-enabled services from IBM and Oracle to all of these big companies, we can see that they already have a presence in Gift City. So whenever you are visiting India and Gujarat, please visit Gift City to see how the new India is emerging. I will next talk about Dholera Special Investment Region. As you are aware, under the National Industrial Corridor Development Program, Government of India is building huge greenfield industrial smart cities. Dholera is one of the first and one of the biggest such cities. As you will see, Dholera is going to be spread over an area of 920 square kilometers, which is about more than 200,000 acres. So it's a huge area which is being developed. And the idea is that we will put in place plug and play infrastructure which is already ready. As we will see next, how large land parcels, right from 5 acres to even more than 300 acres, one single land parcel is available. And several such facilities are available with excellent connectivity. And we have land with plug and play infrastructure. The water treatment plant is already ready. The sewage treatment plant, effluent treatment, wastewater treatment, roads, utility tunnels, ducts, and exceptionally good power infrastructure. It was realized 10 years back that India needs to create a greenfield industrial smart city which will have utilities and infrastructure comparable to the best global benchmarks. So Dholera now has got power infrastructure which is as good as anywhere on the planet. It has got multiple redundancy with the best quality of power, which pulls in power from the conventional grid as well as draws power from a renewable energy plant. And also multiple substations which are interconnected have been put in place. And even the distribution is in a ring architecture so that the power reliability is very high. And it uses SCADA system and a smart grid to ensure that the best quality power, especially required for the semiconductor industry, wherein even an interruption of even a second cannot be accepted. That kind of an infrastructure has already been created in Dholera, and assurance of good quality potable water dedicated 100 million liters per day plant is already operational. This, you can see some of the pictures, how the roads with the utility ducts have already been created. A canal front development has been already completed. The administrative building, which has a provision for companies to use office space even as they build their own plants and offices. We have the Central City Integrated Operations Center, which pulls in feed and SCADA system from all the water supply and utility network, and that is available there. A new international airport, and this I would like to emphasize that considering the significance of Dholera to India's plans, a new greenfield airport is being developed in Dholera. And this airport, the approval has already been given by the central government. The tender has been issued, the agencies have been onboarded, land has been taken possession of, and work has already started. And by end of 2025, this airport will be operational for cargo operations. And by 26 December, it will be operational for commercial traffic. As you are already aware, we are building the Ahmedabad-Mumbai bullet train. But apart from that, it has also been decided to have another high-speed rail link from Ahmedabad to Dholera, which will reduce the travel time from the present 2 hours to about 30 minutes. I'll also briefly mention, as I said, that the existing opportunities. So this is what Gujarat is already leader in multiple sectors, ranging from automobiles and auto components to ceramics, chemicals, petrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, gems, jewelry, textiles, medical devices. All of these sectors, Gujarat is already the leading state. But now we want to focus on the next big opportunity. And I want to share the opportunity that is now presenting itself, evolving. And that is the semiconductor opportunity. As you are aware, India has announced the India Semiconductor Mission and the new policy, which initially provides for a $10 billion fiscal incentive package for semiconductor and display fab companies, as well as assembly and test and OSATs and compound semiconductors and the entire ecosystem. And under that scheme, the government of India will be providing 50% of the entire capital expenditure put by the investor. To add to that, Gujarat became the first state to come out with its own semiconductor policy. And apart from the 50% capex incentive given by Government of India, Government of Gujarat has announced multiple additional incentives, including an additional 20% of capital assistance. So if a fab player puts an investment of 100 yens, 70 of that, 70% is coming from the government, the central government and the state government combined together. So that is huge, that's historic, that's unprecedented. There is nothing similar anywhere in the world today in which 70% of the capital investment is provided as a grant. This is not a loan. This is not something in lieu of which the government seeks equity. This is a pure grant to make the project more viable. And it is for this reason that all of the global major semiconductor players are now seriously and actively engaged with us. And I'll be sharing how a lot of movement has happened and things are moving at very fast speed. As you will see, India signed an agreement first with the United States, and subsequently India and Japan have signed a semiconductor cooperation agreement in July 23. And an implementation organization is sought to be established to have collaboration in research, development, manufacturing, as well as skill upgradation, etc. I want to share this big investment that has happened and the speed with which it has happened. It was on 22nd June of this year that Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi traveled to US and an investment was announced by Micron. Micron is a US company which is the leader in memory processors. And within 6 days of this announcement, we had signed the MOU with the company. We had given the formal cabinet approval for the project, and we had identified and formally given the allotment letter for the land. And as you will see, after that, even the money has been disbursed, because normally it is felt that it might take long for the money to come from the government. But here we have created a situation in which we give the money upfront. So there is an escrow account in which the government puts the money upfront to address any and all of the concerns of potential investors. And on 23rd September, we have already done the groundbreaking. Micron has already onboarded the general contractor and work has begun full swing. And by December 24, the assembly and test facility, which is a $2.7 billion investment, will be up and running. This will be the biggest assembly and test facility of its kind in the world. This will also be one of the fastest such facilities to become operational. So you can understand that how things have totally transformed in India and how we have been able to realize the dream of Honorable Prime Minister when he said that we need to convert the red tape to red carpet. And here we see that the red tape has been successfully converted into a red carpet and things are moving faster than anybody would even dream or imagine. These are some of the semiconductor companies that we are currently engaged with. And that is why I would like to share with you that the FAB and the OSAT, all of these investments are coming up in Gujarat. We know, and as all of us know, that there are a lot of Japanese companies which play a crucial role in managing the entire supply chain in the semiconductor ecosystem. So we would want to invite all of you to visit Gujarat, to visit Dholera, because seeing is believing. When you will visit, when you will send your delegations and see for yourself the kind of infrastructure that is being created and the kind of development that's happening, you will be able to ensure that you also can utilize this great opportunity for your own company. There are several other opportunities emerging in various other iconic sectors. Apart from the semiconductor and ESDM, Gujarat has very ambitious plans in the green hydrogen and derivatives. Renewable energy, as I said, Gujarat already has more than 40% of the installed capacity is the renewable energy sector. And we are planning some of the biggest, with one park being as big as 30 gigawatts. So renewable energy, great opportunity. In our delegation today, we are having several companies which are having serious investment plans for the solar module, cell, wafer, ingot, polysilicon. All of these, the entire manufacturing chain, they are having serious investments in. So I will request that during the lunchtime, please engage with some of our delegation partners. We'll be sharing some of the names and details later on. Apart from that, from aircraft manufacturing, high-tech manufacturing, smart greenfield smart cities, AI, IoT, Google is setting up a center. IBM has already set up a center. Oracle is already there. So all of the IT companies, design, everything, everybody is looking at Gujarat now. We are a policy-driven state because we realize that investors look at credibility and predictability. We do not do just negotiations and some verbal kind of commitments. We put everything in black and white and publish in the public domain. For every sector, we have tailor-made sector-specific policies brought out after detailed consultations with the stakeholders. These policies enable potential investors to have certainty about the policy regime, about predictability, credibility, and reliability of the policy regime. And they can see for themselves what are the fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that will be available to them if they were to invest in Gujarat. One of the important concerns for all of the investors, especially in the emerging tech and knowledge-based manufacturing, is the skill sets that is available. I'm very happy and proud to share that Gujarat has created an entire ecosystem in which we have 108 universities, 40 medical colleges, more than 130 engineering colleges, more than 140 polytechnics, more than 590 industrial training institutes. Every year, more than 30,000 engineers are graduating from colleges in Gujarat. We have the best of the colleges the IITs, the IIM Ahmedabad, the National Institute of Design, Petroleum University, Energy University, Information and Communication Technology. So a good manpower pool of skilled resources is already available in Gujarat for any of the investors. We also have a very strong and robust startup ecosystem, and you'll see some of the details. We have multiple institutes and incubators helping the startups innovate and grow. This I briefly mentioned, but I would like to take some more time because most of the global MNCs these days look at being able to meet their ESG goals. So this is where if you invest in Gujarat, it will be very easy for you because transitioning towards sustainability is always a key goal for any big company these days. And in Gujarat, we have huge plans for green hydrogen manufacturing, about 200,000 hectares. That's 500,000 acres of land has been earmarked for putting solar and wind energy plants. We already have a 2 gigawatt offshore wind energy project. Gujarat was the first in India to implement an emission trading scheme and the world's first cap and trade market. We are the leader in India with more than 22 gigawatts of installed renewable energy capacity, more than 15% of India. For the state, it accounts for more than 40% of the installed capacity. Our aim is now to reach 50% of our installed capacity from renewable energy. So if you invest in Gujarat and you want your energy to be coming from renewable energy, this is something that the state has already achieved. I'll quickly be sharing some of the other trivia and important things. The world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity, exists in Gujarat, welcoming tourists from across India and across the world. More than 20,000 footfalls on an average every day. Also an engineering marvel of the competence of engineering in India that exists today. This beautiful animal you see, this is the Asiatic lion. Not all of you may know, but I want to share that the only abode of the Asiatic lion in entire Asia, if there is one place where you can see the lion, it's in Gujarat. The tiger you can see in 50 places in India and maybe in hundreds of places across Asia, but the only place where you get to see the lion is Gujarat. And of course, the Gandhi Ashram, the land of Mahatma Gandhi, it's always a serene place, a symbol of non-violent resistance and social change. When you visit Ahmedabad, please find some time to visit the Sabarmati Ashram. And of course, the world's largest cricket stadium has now been built in Ahmedabad. It can seat more than 130,000 people. And it's again a beautiful structure that has come up. And all of these are steps which exemplify and demonstrate in India's implementation and engineering capabilities. More than a dozen golf courses exist around Ahmedabad, some of them the finest golf courses, including a Jack Nicklaus designed golf course. So those of the Japanese companies, and if we try to go on the weekend, we have a huge Japanese presence already in Gujarat. And our golf courses on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, we have a lot of friends from Japan who join with us to play. Quickly, I'll tell about Gujarat and Japan relations. As we are aware, visit of late Mr. Shinzo Abe happened in 2017. And then Japan has been a partner country for the Vibrant Gujarat Summit ever since 2003. So if there's one country for the last 20 years has always been a partner country for the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, it's Japan. And it's for that reason that our today's discussion and meeting with you becomes so much more important. Next. I'll quickly share about the summit for which we are here to invite you. The primary purpose of our visit, meeting, and discussion today is to extend a warm invitation to all of you, all of your companies and delegations from your companies on behalf of my entire government and personally on behalf of the Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, I extend a warm invitation to all of you to the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, which will take place on 10th, 11th, and 12th of January 2024 at Mahatma Mandir, which is one of the best and biggest convention centers in India, in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. I'll briefly share what all opportunities you will have there. You will have opportunities for various B2B meetings, B2G meetings. There'll be a global trade show. There'll be country-specific seminars we are organizing. There'll be sector-specific seminars we'll be organizing. And over the 3 days, as you can see, on 9th January, Honorable Prime Minister will be inaugurating the Global Trade Show, where thousands of companies will be displaying their products, capabilities, and services, and hundreds of thousands of visitors, lakhs, I mean lakhs, hundreds of thousands of visitors are expected to visit the Global Trade Show, which is by far one of the best and biggest trade shows that will be inaugurated on 9th. That's on the sidelines of the summit. The summit begins on 10th January with the inaugural ceremony. Inauguration will be by Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and we will have representatives from more than 100 countries. We will have delegates in tens of thousands. And as I said, the participants and the people who visit the Global Trade Show, that runs into hundreds of thousands. So this is the sheer magnitude. If you have been to Vibrant Gujarat, you know what it is. If you have not been, please come and see. It's something to be seen, to be believed. On 11th and 12th January, we'll be having sector-specific seminars. For example, on 11th, we have a separate sector-specific seminar on the semiconductor and electronics, another one on, for example, port-led city development, another one on development of skills for Industry 4.0. And as you can see, we have several sector-specific seminars over the 3 days. So it's a great opportunity if you want to be a part of this great emerging opportunity that exists in India. As you know, India is now the fastest growing major economy in the world. Within India, Gujarat has been growing at 11%. So that is where all the action is happening. That's where all the opportunity is. I am certain you would like to be part of it, and I welcome all of you to visit the Vibrant Gujarat Summit. Besides that, we'll be having several technologies and champion service sectors. All of you can see this. Quickly introduce the members of the delegation that are visiting with us. So we have a delegation in which there are representatives from the government, and then there are leaders and industry captains from Gujarat. We have Mr. Akash Shebar. Akash, if you can just say hello to everybody. We have Mr. Akash Shebar who will be speaking subsequently. He's the Managing Director of Evans Strait Incorporated. Mr. Deepak Agrawal is the Senior Executive Vice President, Avada Energy. Mr. Vishal Cheripal, he is the Director, GRU Renewables. Mr. Prerak Shah is a Vice President with the Reliance Industries. Mr. Purukovasan, of course, he'll be speaking later on as Director General JETRO. We are thankful to you. You have been extending all the help to us. Mr. Mukesh Patel here, he is one of the doyens, and he's the president of the India-Japan Friendship Association, and he knows almost everybody important here in Japan. And Mr. Neeraj Gupta, Vice President of Renew Private Limited, Mr. Sudhir Nayak, VP Corporate Affairs from E-Infochips. Once again, welcome all of you, and I'll request all of you to take this opportunity during the lunch break to interact with some of the members of the delegation. Some of them will also be joining us during the one-on-one meetings in the afternoon session. We have the Vibrant Gujarat team, Mr. Manish Shah, General Manager, Mr. Karan from the Invest India, Ghansham from Federation of Industries and Commerce of India, Rahul from the Gujarat State Electronics Mission, Kinjal from KPMG. All of them are joining with us. As I mentioned earlier, these are the key Japanese players in Gujarat. All of the big companies seems to be having their logos here. So for those of you who can see your company here, we want to thank all of you from the bottom of our heart for putting trust in Gujarat, for choosing to partner us and giving us an opportunity of hosting your investments in Gujarat. You are already there. You are there in a big way. Some of these companies, they have their industrial establishments running over hundreds of acres. Huge presence. That's why I like to say that Gujarat is already the mini Japan in India. If you can see your logo on this screen, we thank you. If you do not see, then I think it is time to make a decision and to come to Gujarat and to invest. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for joining us in this meeting today. And once again, on behalf of my government and Honorable Chief Minister, I extend a very warm invitation to all of you to come and participate in the upcoming Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Thank you. Arigato.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Without any ado, we will now have an audio-video film played for you on Dorela, India's first Greenfield Industrial City. インド初のグリーンフィールド工業団地、ドレラの映像を上映いたします。スクリーンをご覧くださいませ。
日本、インドの産業および経済成長の主要パートナー。インドは多くの日本企業にとって長期的なビジネスの本拠地である。インドと世界をつなげるグジャラート州はインドの成長指数を最前線で牽引。ナレンドラ・モディ首相が掲げるメイクイン・インディア・フォー・ザ・ワールド。このビジョンに沿ってここグジャラート州は外国人投資家に成長の門扉を開いています。グジャラート州政府の積極的で投資家に優しい政策と相まって強力で安定した経済がグジャラート州を世界のビジネスハブへと飛躍させています。この州は包括的で持続可能な開発モデル、優れた接続性、技術と知識の巨大な貯蔵庫、膨大なビジネスと投資の可能性を持つ産業の楽園です。グジャラート州の主要産業は化学、石油化学、酪農、医薬品、セメントとセラミック、宝石と貴金属、繊維、エンジニアリングなどです。グジャラート州首相、シリ・ブペンドラ・パテルが率いるこの州は、その恵まれたビジネス環境から世界有数の大手企業の投資を集め、国内の製造業の中心地となりました。進化し続ける市場経済に新時代をもたらし、デジタル革命の次の段階を推進するため、グジャラート州政府は半導体とディスプレイという新たな成長路線に注目しています。
Semiconductors are playing a critical role in the world in more ways than we can imagine. It is our collective aim to establish India as one of the key partners in global semiconductor supply chains.
グジャラート州はインドで初めて半導体やディスプレイの製造設備を支援するための特別な政策を発表し、その先陣を切っています。この政策はグジャラート州を半導体とディスプレイ製造の次の世界的ハブにするために、より産業への投資を誘導、促進するように作成されています。グジャラート州をインドの電子システム設計と製造、エコシステムの開発におけるパイオニアにすることを目指し、自立したグジャラートを経て、自立したインドのビジョンを強化します。グジャラート州エレクトロニックミッション GSEM は、科学技術省の支援のもと、活気ある半導体、ディスプレイ、設計、イノベーションのエコシステムを構築することをビジョンに掲げ、設立されたものです。GSEM は、より体系的、重点的、総合的に産業を促進するための取り組みに尽力し、投資家のためのシングルウィンドウクリアランスシステムとして機能します。半導体・ディスプレイ産業のための強固なインフラを構築するため、どれらに新たなセミコンシティを開発し、セミコンシティはグジャラート州と日本との間に長期的に投資しやすいビジネスエコシステムを育成し、経済発展の新たな潮流をもたらすでしょう。アジアの開発ベンチマークとなることが期待されているドレラ特別投資区 ドデラ SIR はインド最大のグリーンフィールドスマートシティとして開発されている。グジャラート州アーメダバードの南西 100km に位置するドデラ SIR は開発が最も進んでいる。新時代の到来を告げる 22.54 平方キロメートルの活性化領域は多様な産業のエコシステムを受け入れる準備が整っている。ドデラ SIR は安定した配電網を備えており、コスト効率の高く連続的及び冗長な電力供給を実現。また、4400メガワットのソーラーパークプロジェクトも計画されており、300メガワットはすでに稼働。ドデラとアーメダバードを結ぶ世界クラスの4車線高速道路は現在建設中で、2024年4月までに開通する予定。この高速道路回廊には高速鉄道網も組み込まれる。ドデラ国際空港の第1期工事は2025年までに完成する予定。知的 IoT、このインターネットベースの政府とインフラシステムを通じて資源利用の最適化が計画されている。本都市に強力なバックボーンを提供しているのがスマートウォーター管理システムであり、産業と住宅の総水需要に対応している。産業用地、住宅用地、ホテル用地の割り当てはすでに始まっている。最初の工場の建設は完了。日本の4つ星ホテルもすでにドデラに土地を取得し、間もなく開業予定。ドデラ SIR、インド独自のグローバルスマートシティは、最適なワークライフバランスを提供し、レクリエーションやレジャー用の空間も有する。グジャラート州は、日本の投資促進機関である日本貿易振興機構の本拠地でもある。州は世界市民のために世界的な文化及び社会インフラを提供している。グジャラートをあなたの故郷に。
Next, I would like to invite Mr. Takehiko Furukawa, Director General JETRO, to a brief presentation. 続きまして、JETRO アーメダバードダイレクタージェネラル古川武彦様よりご講演いただきます。
はい、皆さんおはようございます。JETRO アーメダバード事務所の所長をしております古川と申します。どうぞ今日はよろしくお願いいたします。ちょっとだけでね、私自身の紹介っていうかさせていただこうと思うんですけども、私もうインドですね、1994年からお付き合いしておりましてですね、駐在が今回で3回目ということで、デリーから始まりまして、ムンバイ、それで今回がアーメダバードということで、もうトータル10年ぐらいですね、何らかの形でインドとのお付き合いをしております。その中でですね、冒頭、モディ首相のビデオの中にですね、私は小さな種まいたっていうような、そういう表現がありましたけども、もう私も30年近くですね、インド見てまして、やはり特にこの昨今ですね、この何年間か、アフターコロナ以降ですけども、すごい変貌を遂げているなっていう、そういう実感があります。で、今日はですね、バイブラント・グジャラートのプロモーションということで、JETROがですね、先ほど2009年から日本がパートナーカントリーになったっていうお話がありましたけれども、その時からですね、JETROはパートナーオーガナイゼーションということで、バイブラント・グジャラートの日本側のいろんなイベントの窓口という形でさせていただいております。そういった関係でですね、今回、バイブラント・グジャラートに皆さん参加していただこうということでですね、情報を提供をするっていう、そういう機会であります。で、私の方からはですね、もう皆さん、時間とかですね、あとビデオとか、結構重要な情報はもうすでに盛り込まれてはおるんですけども、日本企業から見たグジャラートっていう、そういうような視点も盛り込みながらですね、ちょっとお話をさせていただこうというふうに思ってます。で、 前半の部分でですね、3点ぐらいですね、やはりこのグジャラ島っていうのは、多分ですね、日本の皆さんから見るとですね、まだまだご存じない方もいらっしゃると思います。で、インドの中でですね、やはりその工業生産の 18% みたいな形のシェアを持っていましてですね、かなり進んだインフラも持っているということで、インドの中でそういう非常に重要な位置を占めている工業州だっていうこと、それを知っていただきたいっていうのが1点。で、2つ目がですね、インドの端にありますので、インド国内の需要を取り込みながら、中東とかアフリカとかですね、そういった方面にもですね、展開できるような、そういう地域的な戦略拠点ともなり得るっていう点、これが2点目。で、3点目がですね、ずいぶん前から日本っていうものをターゲットにですね、プロモーションをかけてこられたっていう、そういう戦略性、そういったところが特徴かなと思っております。で、後半の部分ではですね、もうすでに触れられてはいるんですけども、かなりいろんななんていうんですかね、新規な産業政策を打ち出される州でありましてですね、ギフトシティだったりとか、あと半導体のハブのどれらでの構想とか、そういったものに代表されるようなですね、そういう動きをされる特徴的な州だっていう点、それと5つ目がですね、やはりモディさんのイニシアティブとの連携っていうのが非常にうまくできているというか、もうほぼ一番いいわみたいな、そういう存在の州だというような点をですね、知っていただけたらなというふうに思います。それでは NEXT。はい、前半は飛ばします。グジャラ島なんですけども、人口が6000万人ということでですね、アメダバードはインドの中のティア1都市ということで、8大都市の中に入ってます。で、日系企業、日本人の存在なんですけども、ちょっとまだまだ少なくてですね、在留日本の法人がですね、218人程度ということ、それでこの約半分がですね、鈴木さんの関係の駐在員っていうような、そういうような土地柄になっております。で、進出日系企業は50社程度っていうことであります。NEXT。で、このグジャラートの産業分布なんですけども、いろんなところにですね、特徴的なクラスターがありまして、湾岸地域には石油化学ですとか、あと真ん中あたりにはですね、繊維関係、で、南の方にダイヤモンド、そういった形でですね、いろんな産業クラスターがあります。で、あと製薬関係とかもですね、あります。で、インドのですね、FDI、外国直接投資の、かなりの部分を受け入れるということで、いつも上位に入っております。NEXT。で、これ見ていただいたらいいんですけども、非常にですね、いろんな地域とのコネクティビティっていうのをよくしようっていうような形でですね、開発が進めておられましてですね、インド、デリーとですね、ムンバイを結ぶ NH8、ナショナルハイウェイ8ですね、8号線が通っております。それと、現在、建設進んでおります、貨物専用の鉄道ですね、それも通っている。それからムンドラ、カンドラ、ピパパブ、そういったところのですね、非常に効率性のいい港湾施設っていうものがあるということで、産業立地っていう意味合いではですね、非常になんていうんですかね、コネクティビティを意識して、開発をされているということであります。NEXT。はい、NEXT。で、日系企業の集積の感じなんですけども、インドはですね、どこもですね、やはり自動車二輪の産業がリードしてサプライヤーが集積したっていう、そういうヒストリーがあるんですけども、グジャラートも同様であります。で、日系企業にとってはですね、このグジャラート州っていうのは、5番目の自動車ハブみたいな形で開発が進んできたということで、一番新しい自動車ハブと考えていただいたらいいのかなと思っております。で、コアになるテナントっていうのは鈴木の4輪と、あとホンダの2輪というようなことで、あとですね、自動車関係でいうと、タタさんだったり、ちょっと撤退されましたけども、フォードさんとか、あと上海汽車、そういったところがですね、立地しております。NEXT。 で、日系企業ですけども、自動車以外の部分っていうのも実はありましてですね、湾岸地域にはそういう石油価格関係とかですね、造船だったりとか、そういった企業さんもおられます。そして、あとは、そうですね、銀行さんでいうと、みずほ銀行さんが唯一おられます。あと、製薬関係では、大塚製薬、そういったところがですね、主要なプレイヤーっていうふうに考えていただいたらいいのかなと思っております。NEXT。で、さっき、触れましたキープレイヤーですね。鈴木の4輪さんと、あと、本田さんの2輪ということで、鈴木さんはですね、今、生産能力75万台って言われてますけども、いろんな改善をされてですね、このキャパシティはもっともっと実は上がってるっていうふうに伺ってます。で、来年の後半に向けてですね、EV を投入されるっていうふうに伺ってまして、そのための準備が着々と進んでいるというふうに聞いております。あと、本田さんですね。ここで、グローバルエンジンの開発、製造されておりましてですね、ここからいろんな地域にエンジンを供給されているということで、現在60万台の増産ラインを作っておられて、来年1月から180万台のスクーターを生産されるという体制に移行されるというふうに伺っております。NEXT。で、あとこれはですね、ムンバイとアーメダバードを結ぶ高速鉄道ですね。で、こちらの方は、このサバルマティ駅っていう、これ、現状もう完成してるんですけども、これがアーメダバード側の支店になる、そういう駅であります。で、用地がですね、グジャラットとマハラシュトラ州側で、ほぼ収容が完了したので、土木パッケージですね。それの発注ももう終わったということで、ちょっとなかなか進まなかったところがですね、急に進み始めたということで、それで、2027年ぐらいに開通するんじゃないかということで、これはオフィシャルな、あれではない、アナウンスではないんですけども、目標ということで報道されているっていう、そういうことになっております。あと、こちらの方はですね、アーメダバードメトロということで、日本信号さんが信号システムをやられてるんですけども、それの延伸っていうんですかね、フェーズ2っていうのも計画が進んでいる。そういった感じです。NEXT。で、いろんなその日系進出企業さんにアンケートを取るとですね、何がお困りごとですかっていうのがあるんですけども、労働の問題っていうのがちょっとあるようなんです。でも、なんていうんですかね、その不足してるっていうんじゃなくて、募集するとどんどん人が集まるっていうことなんですけども、ちょっとその、なんていうんですか、定着率が悪いっていう部分があるようです。で、その、いろんなものを解決するためにですね、日本式ものづくり学校みたいなのをやられている企業さんもありましてですね、そこで、スキルを育てたワーカーを、マネージャーっていうか、そのリーダーですね、LINE のリーダーみたいな立場の人たちを育てて、日系企業に、就職してもらおうみたいな、そういうコースもやっておられます。で、一つ、グジャラートのいい点はですね、労働争議が顕著に少ないっていう、これはインドの皆さん口々におっしゃるんですけど、やはりグジャラートの人っていうのは非常に穏やかなのでですね、労働争議が起こりにくいっていうのと、あと、起こりそうな場合、州政府が多分うまくマネージされているんだろうなっていう、そういうようなイメージを持っております。NEXT。で、NEXT。で、ここで紹介したいのがですね、マンダルとサナンドということで、このマンダルの工業団地っていうのとサナンドの工業団地っていうところに日系企業が主に集積されています。で、アーメダバード市内からですね、北西に上がっていくと1時間半ぐらいでマンダルの日本工業団地っていうのがあります。で、その先にですね、30分ぐらいのところに鈴木さんがあるっていうことで、そういうロケーションになってます。で、ここのマンダル日本専用工業団地っていうところにですね、日系企業、サプライヤーが集積しているっていうのと、もう一つのこちらの手前の方ですね、サナンドの工業団地っていうのは、アーメダバードから西に向けて40分ぐらいということで、ここにもですね、鈴木さんとか本田さんのサプライヤーさんとかも入ってるし、それ以外の業種の方々も入っておられると。この2つがですね、メインの日系企業の集積地ということになっております。NEXT。 で、これ、マンダル日本製油工業団地なんですけども、これはですね、グジャラート州政府とジェトロがですね、コラボレーションしまして、実現した日本企業専用の工業団地ということになっておりまして、で、何が特徴かっていうとですね、よく聞かれるかと思うんですけれど、インドっていうのは土地の収用っていうのが非常に問題が多いっていうことでですね、地権者のそういう、なんていうんですかね、後から裁判が起こったりとかですね、そういうものを避けるために、州政府がそういう土地の権利関係を全部きれいにした上で、99年リースっていうことになります。で、ジェトロはですね、ここに日系企業を連れてくるための、窓口っていう形でやらせていただいております。で、現状ですね、9社、日系企業が入っておりまして、いずれも鈴木さんと本田さんのサプライヤーっていうことになっております。で、特徴的なのはですね、トヨタ通商さんがこの中で、いわゆるレンタル工場を運営されておりましてですね、でコロナの頃はですね、非常にちょっとスタックしてた感じはあったんですけども、現状、もうほぼレンタル工場も埋まってきてですね、次、この新しく工場を建てるかどうかみたいな話を現状やられております。NEXT。で、これは、コーラジサナンド2って呼んでますけども、これもグジャラート州政府が用意されております日系の専用の工場区画がある工業団地ということで、ちょっとですね、コロナの時代に行き来が途絶えた部分がありまして、まだ現状日系企業は入っておりませんので、こちらの方もですね、今、もしも大きなスペースが必要な企業にはもってこいの場所ではあります。NEXT。はい、ここからですね、ちょっと州政府の、なんていうんですかね、主要な取り組みに関してお話を差し上げたいと思います。で、グジャラートの産業政策の特徴っていうのがですね、ここに書いてますけども、モディ・パテルのダブルエンジンということで、モディさんと州首相のパテルさんが2つエンジンありまして、でこの2つのエンジンで、グジャラート州の産業政策っていうのが一枚岩で動いてるんですよっていう、そういうキャッチフレーズになっております。で、この産業政策ですね、EV 政策だったり、半導体政策だったり、あとグリーン水素関係だったり、これ全部中央政府で、産業政策があるものに対して、中央で産業政策が出ると、州政府がそれを補完するような産業政策を次々に出していく。それで中央とグジャラート州で補完した形でその新しい分野を進めていく。そういった関係にあります。で、やはり、その州政府の高官にお話聞きますとですね、グジャラート州は象徴的な分野っていうのをどんどん集めていくんだっていうことで、今後もですね、そういう新しい州政府の政策ですね、中央政策と連動したようなものが多分どんどん出てくるだろうなと思ってます。で、ここに書いてますけども、こういう連動した政策の結果ですね、フォックスコンのさっき紹介ありましたけども、ドレラ関係だったりとかですね、あとマイクロンのサナンドへの進出だったり、あと P&G の進出、それから Google のギフトシティへの進出、そういったものが成果として現れております。NEXT。で、これ、自立したグジャラートっていう産業政策なんですけど、頭にいるバールグジャラートっていうんですけども、これが産業政策のベースになってます。で、これにですね、様々な、さっきもスクリーンに出てましたけども、分野別の産業政策が補完してます。これが根本で産業別っていうのがまた別途あるっていうことです。で、これでですね、その様々なその先端産業を呼び込むためのインセンティブが規定されているっていうことになります。NEXT。で、これがですね、グジャラートのさっきありましたような新しいコンセプトっていうような形でできた、インド発の国際金融特区、ギフトシティですね。こちら非常にユニークな動きをされてまして、この中で外貨のオフショア取引ができたり、金地金の取引ができたりということで、要はその今までそのシンガポールだったり、ドバイとか、そういったところでですね、取引してたようなビジネス、金融ビジネスを こっちに取り戻していこうっていう、そういう受け皿になってます。で、この中でですね、航空機リース事業だったり、船舶リース事業だったり、そういったものを意図して取り込もうっていうのと、あと、金融関係なので、スタートアップですね。ここでフィンテックのそういうスタートアップの支援をやろうっていう、そういうコンセプトであります。で、ここにですね、6月にモディさんが訪米された後に、Google のグローバルセンターっていうのが進出するというような報道がありました。NEXT。で、もう一つですね、意外と知られてないのがスタートアップということで、グジャラート州政府はですね、結構スタートアップのエコシステムっていうのの評価がですね、非常に高くてですね、で、インドのそういう州別のスタートアップランキングでは1位を3回取ってるということで、皆さんあまりご存知ないかもしれないですけども、そういう一面もあります。で、この中でですね、この iCreate だったり、GUSEC、それから iHub、それからゲイシア、そういったところですね、州立大学系だったり、それから州政府系だったり、いろんなバックグラウンドあるんですけども、こういったアクセラレーターがたくさんありましてですね、で、何が特徴かって聞いたらですね、やっぱりこのグジャラート州政府っていうのは、ものづくりっていうのがものすごく盛んなので、製造現場と非常に近いっていうことらしいです。なので、スタートアップと製造現場が近いので、いわゆるマニファクチャリングテックですね。そういう製造業のそういう効率を上げるような、そういう技術を開発しているスタートアップっていうのが特徴というふうに言われています。NEXT。で、実例ですね。これがプルトメンさんっていうスタートアップなんですけども、これ、仮想現実とかですね、そういったものを応用したスタッフの教育だったり、それからソリューションのいわゆる、なんていうんですかね、スピードアップですね。そういったものを仮想現実使ってトレーニングするとか、現場のソリューションを提供するとか、そういう技術を持ったスタートアップさんです。で、これは、日本でのですね、ピッチコンテストとかでも、ファイナリストに選ばれたりとかですね、そういった実績をお持ちであります。NEXT。で、最後にですね、半導体関係ですね、ちょっとお知らせしておこうと思います。で、このエレクトロニクス、インドのエレクトロニクスの規模っていうのが、2026年にはですね、3000億ドル規模に拡大するって言われております。で、半導体市場に関しても、2026年に640億ドル規模っていうことに、調査では結果として出ております。で、この国内のプレイヤーっていうのは、すでにいくつかいるようなんですけども、そこにですね、台湾のフォックスコンとかマイクロンとか、アプライアイドマテリアル、それからシリコンパワー、そういったような外資がですね、現状参入しつつある、それをインド政府も後押ししようっていう、そういう段階になっております。で、あと、その半導体に必要なですね、その素材系だったり、そのガスとかですね、そういったものの供給する企業さんっていうのは、財閥系なども含めて、非常にすでに確立したものがあるというふうに聞いております。NEXT。で、さっきもお話があったように、いわゆる電子情報技術庁のですね、メイティのこういうセミコンインディアプログラムっていうもので、その設立費用の 50% ですね、そういったものをカバーするようなものを、インセンティブを出してまして、インドの中での半導体製造及びエレクトロニクス部品製造っていうものをこれからどんどん進めて、メイクインインディアの流れでですね、インドの中にどんどん取り込んでいこうっていうのが現状の動きであります。NEXT。で、これに対してですね、やはり州政府の方もですね、いわゆるさっきありましたように、グジャラートのセミコンダクターミッションっていう、そういうものが立ち上がっておりまして、まさにその中央政府の政策と連動して、さっきネラ次官の方からもありましたけども、中央政府のインセンティブと州政府のものを合わせると、投下資本、プロジェクト費用の 70% ぐらいまでカバーできるんだっていう、そういうスキームであります。NEXT。で、これがですね、現状、そういうどういう動きで、そういう半導体産業の取り込みっていうのが進んできたかっていうようなものを、ちょっと大まかなものをカバーしております。で、このちょっと色の変わってるとこありますね。23年の6月、ここにモディさんが訪米されておりましてですね、で、この後に、やはり、マイクロンだったり、それからグーグルとか、そういったところのですね、動きが現れてきたっていうことで、その前にもですね、アメリカとの関係っていうのは徐々に構築されていたんですけども、今後ですね、ちょっとアメリカとの、アメリカ企業とのインタラクションみたいなものが、もうちょっと近くなっていくのかなっていう印象を受けております。で、グジャラートにはですね、そのモディさんが6月に訪米した後に、アメリカの総領事館をアーメダバードに作るっていうような、そういう発表もされております。現状、日本の領事館はないんですけども、アメリカの領事館を作るんだっていう報道がされておりました。NEXT。で、ここがさっきから何度も繰り返し出ております、ドレラですね。で、こちらの方に、エレクトロニクス半導体ハブっていうのを作るという、そういう強固な意思で今現状進んでおりまして、非常にこの野心的な取り組みだと思うんですけども、徐々にですね、形ができつつあるスクラッチからのスマートシティということであります。で、ベダンタとフォックスコーンの合弁事業っていうのが、半導体の川上の部分でですね、過去1年ぐらい進んできたんですけども、7月にですね、残念ながらちょっとこの合弁がうまくいかなかったんですけども、そのベダンタさんとフォックスコーンさんっていうのは、それぞれ別々のパートナーとですね、引き続きインドの川上部門にとどまるっていうような、そういうことを言われておりましてですね、多分近々にですね、なんかまた新たな動きがあるんじゃないかなと思ったりするんですけども、このベダンタさんとフォックスコーンさんの川上部分でのプロジェクトが一体どうなっていくのかっていうのは、この後ですね、ランチの時にネラ時間にでもですね、聞いていただければ、いろんなことをご存知なんじゃないかなというふうに思っております。はい、それで、NEXT。はい、これはですね、7月に西村経済産業大臣がインドを訪問されたときにですね、これから日本とインドで半導体の部分でですね、ちょっといろんな協力を模索するようなイニシアティブをやっていこうっていう宣言がされました。それで今後何か日本とインドとの関係でも起こっていくのかなっていうことで、現状いろんな準備が進んでいるものと思われます。NEXT。はい、最後ですけども、バイブランダグジャラートということで、来年の1月10日から12日まで、開催、すいません、ちょっとこの日にち間違っています。10日から12日です。すいません、10日から12日です。はい。こちら、我々もですね、パートナーオーガナイゼーションとしてですね、日系企業さんをこちらの方にご招待したいと思っております。で近々ですね、またジェトロの方が窓口になるような、そういう事業に関しては皆さんの方にもご連絡を差し上げようと思いますのでですね、ぜひ皆さん、こちらの方に参加いただけたらなというふうに思います。すいません、ちょっと長くなってしまいましたけれども、ジェトロからですね、以上ご報告申し上げます。もしも何かございましたらですね、気軽にアーメダバードの古川までですね、ご連絡いただけたらいろんな情報提供をさせていただこうと思いますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。ありがとうございます。
古川所長、ありがとうございました。I am happy to announce that we have a delegation of business leaders from Gujarat who will be sharing their experience in Gujarat. グジャラートのビジネスリーダーの方々からグジャラートでの経験についてご紹介いただきます。First, I would like to invite Mr. Akash Hubbard, Managing Director, Avan Strait, on the stage to share his experience in Gujarat.
His Excellency Mr. Sibi George, Ambassador to India in Japan. His Excellency Mr. Nikhilesh Giri, Consul General, Osaka, Kobe. My good friend Mr. Vijay Nehra, IAS Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat. Mr. Takihiko Furukawa, Director General, JETRO. A warm welcome and Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, namaste. I'm very honored and privileged to be standing here in front of all of you, high-level delegates. It has been very fond memories with Japan. I've lived here for 1 year myself, and I used to always go down the Meguro Dori, looking during the Sakura season, seeing all of the flowers on the Dori. So it's very close to my heart, and I'm happy to be back again. Just last December of last year, we had a business partners summit. It was also joined by the Gujarat government along with Mr. Vijay Nehra and his team. And it was wonderful to see the energy of the Japanese companies and their willingness to explore India as a country. We signed over 30 MOUs. And as many of you know, Vedanta has a Japanese headquartered company called Avanstrat. Avanstrat is one of 4 global companies that makes LCD glass substrates. And coincidentally, 3 of those companies are all Japanese. And we are here to bring that technology into India. And I stand here before you as a business entity to tell you about the advantages that India has for companies that are coming from Japan or actually anywhere in the world. So first, I think let me talk a little bit about Vedanta. Vedanta as an organization has traditionally been in metals mining. We are a $30 billion market cap and we have $20 billion revenue. We have very diverse metals and mining across zinc, lead. We have the biggest zinc mining. We have lead, silver. We have nickel, cobalt. We have copper. We even have oil and gas. And now this is a very pivotal moment where we are going into a very future-ready tech focused manufacturing with Vedanta. Vedanta already has optical fiber that we were building from 1996, and we are number 2 in the world. And with Avanstrat, we also now have glass substrate technology with 700 patents all over manufacturing, process, know-how, and in composition. With I think with $20 billion revenue, we're also 1.4% of our nation's GDP, and we have more than 100,000 employees across 15 countries. So it is very I feel very proud to say that Vedanta has always been not only a global company but an Indian company which has global talent, and we have acquired companies like Avanstrat even before we acquired Sesagoa from Mitsui. So we have a very close relationship with Japan and the successes of these companies as we integrate India and Japan. So I think let me come to the latest venture that Vedanta is doing. Vedanta is looking at setting up display fab and semiconductor foundry in India. And this is only possible through the vision of our Prime Minister Modi ji, our policy making in the government of the central government saying that they will give 50% subsidy. We were the first ones to apply for this subsidy. We were the first ones to given our application for both display fab, which is about $3 to $4 billion for one factory, and semiconductor foundry, which is about $8 billion. Vedanta has also announced that we will invest $20 billion in this sector. And the first phase is...
Hello.
Yes.
でもこれ
Everything okay? Okay. And we want to make that dream a reality, and we are looking at Gujarat as the state that will enable this. And why Gujarat? We have assessed many of the states in India, And as you can see from what all you have heard already, Gujarat is a state which is uniquely positioned to handle electronics manufacturing. It has a mini Japan India. I personally have gone to Gujarat and have seen this mini Japanese city. It has Japanese restaurants, Japanese hotels. It has even Japanese groceries. So we really think that it is a very welcoming state. But not only that, when you technically see, they do have the first semiconductor policy that gives 20% subsidy for anyone who's building electronic manufacturing there. We even have allocated land there. Gujarat government has been very proactive in giving us utilities of electricity, water. They have started building a very level ground for us already to build across 450 acres. And this is going to be an industry where we are going to attract about 100 companies from outside of India, 1,000 companies within the MSME sector in India. And this is an $80 billion opportunity for the ecosystem. And I say that because each of these factories, when we are building it, the foundry where we are building legacy nodes of 28 nanometer, 40 nanometer, when display fab, we are building generation 8 fabs. This is what is going to create the next device, which is fully made in India. This will add 60% of the manufacturing capability into electronic devices. Every person, like how China has gone in the last 10 years, every Indian person will say, I'll build my own Oppo, I'll build my own Vivo, because this will give the Indian entrepreneur a chance to build their own device. And that exactly is what our vision is. And we are making sure that in India, with its 25% of the world's population, that and even our the population is consuming at such a large rate. We have smartphones at 250 million smartphones a year, going to 400 million smartphones a year. We are looking at engineers, about 1.5 million engineers in India, growing at a rate of 22% CAGR in just talent. And this is what is necessary for us to establish an entire Silicon Valley of industries, of fabs, and this foundry and the display fab will be the nucleus of it all. In September 2022, we signed 2 MOUs with the Gujarat government for both display fab and for a semiconductor foundry. And we are certain that all of the things that have been put down in that MOU will be delivered. And Gujarat government is actually already started its work. Like they said that, so we are building the social infrastructure, the transport infrastructure, and the utility infrastructure. All three very, very important elements for the success of this industry. Um, this is not just the experience with us. Gujarat has been attracting global investors, global companies from all over, as you saw already. So I won't go into it again. But it's just amazing to see the speed, the say-do ratio, and the fact that whatever in the past has the track record has shown is that Gujarat has invested into these companies and made it into a successful venture. So Gujarat is, developing the Dholera SIR for the semiconductor and display factories, and this is along the Delhi-Mumbai corridor. And why is that important? Is because in the start we have to attract all of the talent from outside India, because in India we don't have people. We have talent, we have engineers, but we don't have people who have run fabs before, who have made these buildings before. So we need to create an environment where we have good access to schools, facilities, social infrastructure. And Dholera is well placed, like Vijay said, in the middle of the Delhi-Mumbai corridor, plus close to Ahmedabad, which has all of the facilities that each of these expat people who have coming to work with us will require. And I think that vision is going upstream and downstream is what we need to practically think about in terms of business feasibility. Number one, each of your companies from Japan, when you come to India and any of these places, will be a low cost localized company. Number two, you will be getting access to talent, and the GDP increase with these two factories alone is going to double, and it's going to create a flywheel which will make sure that all of the people living in in these areas will not feel any lack of a first class country or a first world country. And number three, the opportunity of investment is huge here. We have about $80 billion that we envisage that all of the ecosystem players will start tapping into, because we need about 800 suppliers for semiconductor foundry. We need at least 250 suppliers for display fab. And this is only possible if we have the key components localized, the insurance companies involved, the warranty companies, the operations and maintenance companies at the location that we are talking about. So, as Vedanta embarks on this journey, I really hope that the companies that we have been talking to, and a lot more new companies from Japan would come forward and talk to us and actually ask us as a business to a business entity, how can we make this feasible and why do we think it is feasible? And in the past, we have always worked with the government and we have always shown success in all of our businesses. So I urge all of you to come and take a look at us very seriously, and I would be happy to be involved in all of the discussions so that we can all create one target, one world, and $1 trillion economy within Gujarat, and a $5 trillion economy in India by 2030, possible through Prime Minister Modi ji's vision and Bhupendra Bhai Patel ji's vision. Thank you so much, and God bless. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to call Mr. Sudeep Naik, Vice President, Corporate Affairs, Infosys, on the stage to share his experience in Gujarat.
Very good morning to one and all present in this beautiful hall. I would like to thank all the dignitaries sitting over here and giving me this opportunity to share my views. I have been really requested that keep as you can GP your presentation in want of time actually. But whatever I'm going to talk is mere experience, and it is not just PPT or presentation, but I am a person from the ground. And I want to talk on three aspects of my discussion. Number one, who we are. Number two is why Gujarat. And earlier it was, now it is why not Gujarat. It has transformed. And third thing is my personal experience as well as my company's experience with Japanese customer. So I think in want of time, what we say that we are 25 plus years old company. We have 35 engineers. We have two basic verticals of our business. One is on the chip design side, and another is the embedded product design side. So we talk it from spec to silicon to product to system. That is the journey we take for all the customers throughout the globe actually. And our present strength is around 3,500 employees, out of which 70 to 75% are based in Ahmedabad. I will not go in all of the things, but I will just like to touch upon two aspects. That if you are familiar with semiconductor, we have tapped out 7 nanometer SoCs, almost 30 numbers. We are already working on 3 nanometer with TSMC and GUC. And I think we work with all the semiconductor players in the world who are in top 20. NXP and TI and Intel has been very good partner with us. And we have developed more than 500 products. We are a pure design house. We only design for customers. area. And I don't want to.
When
This all has been
the
taught
power
by
in-
Nehra sir for everything like that and other things. But let me tell you that what we need is a power, we need a good water, and we need a good logistic. The most complex thing in semiconductor manufacturing is the logistic part of it. And if that cannot be done throughout the country, so I personally think that it will be more dedicated to Gujarat once you create the things. And the speed at which the government of Gujarat is working, I think there are some have already expressed that MOU was signed in the month of July, and September it was done the groundbreaking. I think 3 months. Even in my furthest dream, I cannot think of. The government is so transparent, so easy, and there is a single window of clearance. I think this is not stress upon, but I think this is extremely critical factor. You need not to go to go. Number 3 thing is that this is the state which has come up for semiconductor policy for the first time in India. And as we see that if you put $10, $7 is going to come from government of India and government of Gujarat without asking for any return on equity. I think what more you want? It is if we, I tell you, Ratan Tata, you might have heard the name of Tata. They, in one of the annual summit, he made a statement that those who don't invest in Gujarat are stupid. And he said that I am no longer stupid because he put up a nano project first time. And now all Tata EV is going to manufacture in Sanand. They have acquired even the Ford plant and the things are in place. So as far as the government of Gujarat is concerned, I am extremely delighted to work with them. We wanted some land from government of Gujarat and we applied. And I tell you that the price at which we got the land for 30 years lease, nobody can think of. It is 1100 rupees per square yard. The current running rate for that land is almost 70,000 to 85,000 rupees. So if you, and I have been Nehraji and Gujarat State Electronics Commission, Mr. Vijay Khareji, we had a lot of seminars in terms of creating the talent, creating the syllabus for the chip design side on the VLSI side. And currently this year, if you see the remarkable side, Nehra sir, the admission was very good in electronics. This year it is overflowing. DDIT has to say no to people to go for electronics. It is full, sold out. I think this is the impact of Micron project. Number 3, our experience with Japan. From other things, one of my apartment is rented to one of the Japanese person. He has rented for 3 years. I am getting very good data. So we work with majors of Japan. Since 2008, I am traveling to Japan. You name this Sony. You talk about Renaissance. You talk to big players of Japan, and we are working with them last 2008. And not only for chip design. Currently also we are engaged with 2 to 3 customers. But we are also working for a lot of product development. I would like to mention only 2 products. One is for, we call it a brain navy product. And another is a emergency alarm system. The company is in construction, real estate construction, but old people, when they are staying alone, if they get any problem, how they can be caught. There are a lot of intelligence put into the video stream and not to store all the unwanted things. And it is Sekutsu is the name of the company. We are working with them. And Murata, we are engaged for last 4 years with them. And we have developed brain navy system for that. Apart from that, in my next. You said Toshiba, Saturn, Oki. You know that is the first company which represents the cadence in 1990. We started working with Innotech. That is how we started working. And currently, back on, we are doing one IP design services. We are going with them. This is on the chip design side. There are like 2 parts of our business. This is the first part of semiconductor design. And there are 12 companies on the chip design side who has mushroomed out of e-info chips. That's another thing. Next. So as I said, we designed, at least we designed 500 products, but none of us that belongs to us, it is only the customers. It is their IP. So Sony we designed lot of branding as I talked to you from Muraka, emergency calling devices for video distribution system and advertising we are talking about. So we have a large experience of tech to silicon in Japan and from silicon to system because we did a lot of reference design for all the products. See, Toshiba or Intel, their interest is to sell their processor. So they want to show the power of processor, they create a reference design. So we build the reference design jointly with them, we market them. And when their sales people go to the market, they want to create a product on that they can test the pilot very easily. And if they need services to handle, because we are early in the game for designing the chip, so we have a lot of access. Like if you look at website, we see that NXP and NVIDIA, we are already working with the chip design side. So we have early access to them. If any customer wants to develop the product, these people indicate to InfoChips. Then go to this guy, they know our product and they will design for it. I think thank you for listening. Time is short. At least I need 1.5 hours to express what we are doing, but I have to give you 3 minutes. Thank you for listening. And my rewrite also will be available to people over here. Please be in touch. I will be happy to answer. Thank you for all of us for listening.
Thank you, Karan. Next, I would like to call Mr. Preraj Shah, Vice President, Reliance Industries, Jamnagar, on the stage to share his experience in Gujarat.
Morning, and I'm really honored to be here in this forum. Everybody knows about the Reliance Industries. Yeah, it's a Fortune 500 company, and we have the world's largest refining complex in Gujarat. It produces around 66 million metric tons of the crude oil. And out of the every 50 barrels processed in the world, 2 barrels are being processed in the Reliance refinery. So this is a proud of India and this is a proud of Gujarat. We have around 180 billion investment revenue and around 15.3 billion profit. And next slide, please. In Gujarat, we have our 4 major installations. One is the Jamnagar and Ajira is a chemical complex. The third is the chemical complex. And as well as Baroda, we have the these are the various products at our Jamnagar, Ajira, these are the petroleum and petroleum derivative products which we produce in the state of Gujarat. Now, with the time, we are looking forward for the new energy. And we are into solar, hydrogen, and all kinds of things. We have the planning for the production, conversion, infrastructure, and up to the applications. We Reliance has a very strong roadmap for the renewable energy. Next. This is our green hydrogen planning. We have already converted 24 buses, trucks, buses on green hydrogen, and we have put up India's hydrogen refueling station. Now, this is the roadmap for my 100 gigawatt renewable energy generation. And by 2030, we are planning to produce 100 gigawatt renewable energy. Now, from 2003, Reliance is a partner for all the vibrant summits. And we have around 4.5 crore investment in Gujarat, which is equivalent to around 48 billion US dollars. And another 8 to 12 years, we are also planning to put up other all of you to invest. Reliance has experienced the government of Gujarat, their policies, their support, and it is not less, but I will 100% appreciate the growth of the Reliance is because of the Gujarat government. Very important and very favorable policies. Next. Now, when you come to the Gujarat, we are not only into the renewable energy, petrochemicals, and refining, but we are the largest telecom sector in India. And in Gujarat, you will not see any white spots. White spots are the desert or forest sanctuary. Otherwise, the 4G and 5G telecom services, telecom network is available in remotest corner of the Gujarat. Next. Now, government has put up a various support and incentive to promote the investment, incentive of employment generation, schemes for the promote of the industrial policies, incentives on utilities, support on financing, tax and duty incentive. When we come up with the solar project, the government has a very liberal policy for the land allocation, very hydrogen policy, renewable energy. This all policy has boosted and foster our plans so we can implement our projects in a very rapid pace. And all our projects has been completed in a rapid pace because of the government policy and the support from the government. Government has also supported in land allocation, logistics, right of way, utilities, infrastructures, services. In everywhere we have approached Gujarat government for their support, and with their support we are able to complete the work. In our existing business, ease of doing business, online application, review of the proposal, clearances, quicker implementation of the new projects. So we are able to complete our all projects in timeline with the help of Gujarat government. And they have a very Atmanirbhar policies. Even for the geo installation, DST department headed by Mehra Saab has put up a policy which has enabled us to complete our geo network within the state in a rapid space. And from the other state, we are taking time, but in Gujarat, we are able to complete our more than 6,000 kilometers of the optical fiber network and more than 11,000 telecom communication towers within a span of around 5 to 6 years. So government of Gujarat is a industrial supportive government, and I welcome all of you to come in Gujarat and invest in Gujarat and experience the Gujarat government support for each and every step. And I also personally invite each one of you to come to Gujarat and see the world's largest refinery of Reliance. Anytime you can, I'm available, and I always welcome to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to call Mr. Neeraj Gupta, Vice President, Renew Private Limited, on the stage to share his experience in Gujarat.
Hi, good morning to all. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm honored to be on this dais to speak on our project and our investments in Gujarat. First of all, I will just like to introduce our company. It's a Renew Power company, and investments are in renewable energy, and it is backward integrating into manufacturing business. And it is a Nasdaq listed company. We have around 10 gigawatt of renewable energy assets, which are operating in India across almost all the major states in India. So we have experience in terms of investment in India in across all the states which are conducive for renewable energy investments. So coming to the state of Gujarat and manufacturing, we decided to go into manufacturing by backward integrating our renewable energy business. This basically required a lot of investigation into which are the states which can support the investment in a sector which is more close to semiconductors in terms of silicon, then producing ingots and wafers, then converting into energy generation, which is done by cells, and finally making a product which is a module which can be then deployed on the field. So I will just, if you go to just 1-2 slides, we can just talk about revenues. Like, yeah. So our funding currently stands at around 14 billion USD dollars. So we were startup in 2010, and in the 10 years we have raised and implemented $14 billion of investment in India, across India. And we have presence in 8 states in India. So we have experience in all the major states, including Gujarat. We have renewable energy assets in Gujarat as well. And we contribute around 1.9% of the India total power through renewables. This 1.9% entirely come from 2 generation assets, which is wind and solar. And as a India stretcher, 2% over a 10 years period, just from a renewable is a good feat. And it is one of the largest company, as I said. Now it is at around 10 gigawatts, and we have a pipeline of around 4 gigawatt additional, which we will be installing by next year. And this year also we are doing around 3 gigawatts in this annual year, which is 23-24. So next, please. Next, we can skip this. Yeah, we can come directly into our investment. So as I spoke that we took a decision to invest in manufacturing around 2 years back, where our board decided that we should do an investment in cells and modules. We got into action where we visited at least 8 states in India, which are industrial states. And the basic infrastructure which we were looking for investment, which is critical for, in fact, semiconductors as well, and was very critical for our solar manufacturing backward integration. 4 points. One was the land availability in abundance. Second was a power which is stable and is available at a higher voltage levels. Third was abundant availability of water, because the water requirement in these cell fabs and in these ingot fabs is very, very high. Purity of water requirement is also a very important factor. And in fact, we found that across the year that you can have a very, very good quality of power in Dholera, because it is connected to the power grid, and the substation which is at the site is being maintained by one of the best discoms in India, which is Torrent Power. So that was one of the prime factors. We thought that the stability of power, we are getting it here. The amount of water required for cell fabs, our cell fab is relatively small as a global scale, but it still requires around 3 million liters of water per day. And the water which has been allocated to Dholera is around 100 million liters, and they are already started operating 50 million liter water treatment plant. So we are starting our first fab in Dholera in December, which is around 2.4 gigawatt of modules. We can go to next slide. It gives some details. So these are 2 fabs which we are starting. This first fab is 2.4 gigawatt of modules, and next fab which we are commissioning is in June 2024, which is again around 2.5 gigawatt of cells. And both this cell fab and the module fab will have a people of around 1,500, which will be located in and around Dholera. There are 2 good cities which are around Dholera. One is Bhavnagar, which is around 60 kilometers, and one is Ahmedabad. So many of the expats are already being inducted into Renew, and they have seen the site. And their assessment of the site is that because the infrastructure wise it is very strong, and in fact the logistic support which provides the in and out from Dholera in a very quick time through a rapid rail, through a expressway is a very good comfort that we can bring in more expats, and they are happy to work at a site and go very frequent to the site to support the operations. The next slide gives you a kind of a scale. I have already spoken about it, but I will just reiterate it once more. The water consumption, because it is a self-have, it is 3 to 4 million liters per day, and we are probably exploring this region to scale up our investment to 6 gigawatt of cell and 6 gigawatt of wafer, and probably upstream it up to the module to have a complete integrated value chain of 6 gigawatt of wafer to module facility at a one location. And that will require around 18 to 20 million liters per day. And again, we are very impressed that the water plant which is operational is 50 million liter per day already, and 50 million liter day additional is already in construction phase, which will be available to many more industries to come in that region. Stability of power, I have already talked about. I will just reiterate, because in crystal growing process, you require an absolute stable process. You don't want to have any frequency distribution, disturbances, etc. So this is a 220 by 400 kV substation, which is a very, very high voltage substation. You can bring the power directly to the site at a high voltage if your power requirement is, say, 100 megawatt and above. And if you have the lower requirement, even 33 kV voltage, which we are currently doing our fabs, we have bring the power at around 33 kV volts. And that power quality, I think, is one of the best, because it is supported by one of the best discoms in India right now. Next. So the last point I will like to touch, because our sector is more of an export-oriented sector, and it requires a lot of logistic supports, both for inward movement of the material in terms of raw materials and outward movement of the end product. So in terms of inward movement, it is connected to Pipavav port, which is around 200 kilometers. It is also connected to Kandla, which is around 300 kilometers. And it is also is connected internally for the internal demand catering to by the expressway and then through Mumbai corridor. So all the logistics part is well covered in this region. And we already are speaking to different players for our visits in the fabs, because there will be the customers from the outside, including US and EU market, which we are trying to cater. And the support in terms of exports through the ports, we have already been tested, because we have already bring in the tools from various geographies of the world into this site, including Germany, China, Taiwan, Korea. All the vendors are working at the site. So we have given gas contracts, we have given chemical contracts to all the entities which are based out of the semiconductor support utilities builders, which are mostly based in Taiwan, Japan, and Korea. So we have a good experience that the people are able to come, execute, and stay at the site and perform as per the scheduled timelines. So I think that is what I need to say right now. And if any questions, I will take it during the session, one session. Yeah. Thank you.
Eric Hasegawa from Otsuka Pharmaceutical on the stage to share his experience in Gujarat. Mr. Hasegawa. Then we would like to move on to the next program. So next, we would now like to open the room for any questions. So Mr. Eric Hasegawa.
Sorry for not coming down right away. I had to come from the second floor. Okay. On behalf of Otsuka Group and Otsuka Pharmaceutical India, I would like to thank Mr. Vijay Nera, Secretary to Government of Gujarat, Department of Science and Technology and Index TB team of Government of Gujarat, and a delegation of Vibrant Gujarat Summit 2024 for inviting us. Welcome to Tokyo. Kimcho Majama. Okay. Since Otsuka Pharmaceutical India, which I'll refer to as OPI from now on, is today celebrating its 10th anniversary of a successful journey in the state of Gujarat, OPI management is in Ahmedabad as I speak. Accordingly, I am presenting on behalf of OPI's CEO, Mr. Motoyuki Sakiyama. He sends his deepest regards and apologizes for not being able to be present today. And for that, please forgive me for reading directly from the transcript. Okay, I am Eric Hasegawa, and my colleague, Mr. Hiroshi Tanaka, is located on the second floor. We are from the International Division at Otsuka Pharmaceutical Factory in Japan. I will start by introducing Otsuka Group and then briefly explain the current business activities of OPI, which, as I said earlier, is based in the state of Gujarat in India. Okay, so this slide shows the Otsuka Group. As you can see, the corporate philosophy of Otsuka Group is Otsuka, people creating new products for better health worldwide. It was founded in 1921, and we actually celebrated our 100th anniversary 2 years ago. And we have a capital of around 17 billion US dollars, with over 47,000 employees located in 200 companies worldwide. We have 44 research and development sites and 175 manufacturing sites. Next slide, please. Okay. As Otsuka, we have been present in India as Otsuka Chemicals since 2006, and OPI since 2013. OPI is a direct subsidiary of Otsuka Pharmaceutical Factory. Otsuka Group has invested close to 2,500 crore or 25 billion rupees in India, with an investment plan of another approximately 2.5 or 25 billion in the near future. Next slide, please. OPI has been based in Ahmedabad city in the state of Gujarat since 2013. There are currently 830 employees, not including many contract workers at the multiple factories. And the main source of business is to be the most admired company in infusions and clinical nutrition by offering world-class products to patients. Next slide, please. OPI has 2 state-of-the-art manufacturing sites near Ahmedabad, with approximately 158,000 square meters of land, which includes space for further expansion. It is one of the largest manufacturing facilities of infusion projects in India and has many countries' regulatory approvals like PICS and Visa from Brazil and many other countries as well. And we currently export to more than 50 countries apart from supplying the domestic Indian market. Next slide, please. In March this year, OPI signed an MOU with the Gujarat government to expand manufacturing to include pharmaceutical IV products in advanced delivery systems. The total possible investment is a little over 1 billion rupees, and this may start early next year. Next slide, please. OPI has completed 10 successful years in Gujarat. On behalf of OPI, we sincerely thank all stockholders, including the governments of Gujarat and India, for the support. We would also like to mention, on behalf of OPI, that we feel that Gujarat is the most vibrant and dynamically governed state in India with good infrastructure, and as you heard before, such as railways, roadways, and seaways connectivity, and obviously air as well. Gujarat has implemented various e-governance policies and is one of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturing hubs in India, and provides one of the best ecosystems for pharmaceuticals in India. Next slide, please. Okay. Dhanyavadat. We wish all great success at the 10th Vibrant Gujarat Summit to be held next year in January. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we would now like to open the room for any questions and answers. I would like to invite Mr. Vijay Nera on the stage for the Q&A session. これより質疑応答の時間としたいと思います。ご質問のある方は挙手にてお知らせくださいませ。If you have any questions, please.
Thanks for that. Quick question on Toledo. So I was there last July, and I did see the review of it.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The question is, I understand the vision. You want to build out something, I think it's a good vision. But the state at this time, probably I think should be possible also. If you want to scale an operation like this much fast with a lot of top global talent, the possible, they probably have to stay in Ahmedabad, transport them. I'm wondering, I did see that you have plans for roads and railways, but do you think we can short the travel time by an hour? I think Ahmedabad is a good school facility, good Japanese enclaves, but the travel between Dover and Ahmedabad, or even having a localized infrastructure in Dover itself, how long do you need?
Excellent question. All potential investors in Dholera do ask this question because Dholera has the best infrastructure and utilities infrastructure already in place, which is better than the best anywhere on the planet. But it still takes 2 hours to commute from Ahmedabad to Dholera. So we are building a greenfield, dedicated, new access-controlled expressway. That's been under construction for 4 years, and it's about to be completed. May 2024, the expressway will be commissioned. It's being done by the National Highway Authorities of India. It's a $500 million project. And with that being completed, the travel time gets reduced from 2 hours to 1 hour. But we are not happy with that. So the government of India has taken an in-principle decision to build a high-speed rail for which the pre-feasibility and route finalization is done. And now it's the DPR is under approval. And that's going to be almost a $2 billion investment. That will further reduce the travel time from Ahmedabad to 30 minutes. Even as we do all of this, we are concurrently awarding land to people to build hotels and residential facilities and hospital and a school. So the hotel project was awarded last month. I go back and over the next 15 days, I hope to award the project for residential, commercial, restaurant and all. And we are already received proposals from 2 of India's leading groups for building a super specialty tertiary care treatment hospital and an international school. To repeat and reiterate the timelines, May 24, expressway will be commissioned. And beginning of next year, the high-speed rail work will start, which is going to take about 3 years. And meanwhile, the hotel construction land has been awarded. It's already started. The residential facilities, it will start next month.
Thank you. Yeah, one more question. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I am Satish, and I have my President Acharya son also from HTL Semiconductors at Japan. Okay, hi all. Okay, so thank you for your presentation. We were very amazed on the amount of investment you have and all the encouragement. My question here is that mainly on the approvals point of view. So there is always a challenge, a thought process. Any investment in India has a lot of approval challenges. So we have seen the Micron, the way it went on the speed. Can you expect the same speed for all the investments?
So I'll explain both what our vision is and what our mechanism is. Our vision is that none of the investors will have to visit a government office. It will be a single window clearance. And to achieve this vision, we have already created a new organization within the state government. It's called the Gujarat State Electronics Mission. So the mission will handhold and secure all the approvals on your behalf. So it will be a genuine single window clearance, and it will be lightning speed, as we have mentioned and explained, shared the Micron story. So we intend to be equally fast on all of the upcoming investments. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is there any question? If there's no question, the delegation will be at the luncheon session. So we request all the participants to ask the delegation directly.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to invite Mr. Manish Shah, General Manager, Industrial Expansion Bureau, Government of Gujarat, for a vote of thanks.
Konnichiwa. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Government of Gujarat, I would like to thank all of you for your esteemed presence, for making the time to be with us today and joining hands to make this event a grand success. We express our heartfelt thanks to Indian Embassy, JETRO, delegates, and all who have made this event possible in a very short span. A big thanks to all participants who made today's event a memorable one. I would request all of you to join networking lunch hosted by Government of Gujarat. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Now we will conclude the event. We would now request all the delegates to join us for lunch at a foyer just outside of this venue. 以上をもちまして、セミナーを終了とさせていただきます。この会場を出てすぐのフォイヤーで昼食付きの交流会を開催しておりますので、皆様ぜひご参加くださいませ。Please return the interpretation receiver to the reception. 同時通訳レシーバーをお使いの方は受付までご返却お願いいたします。誤ってお持ち帰りになりませんようくれぐれもご注意くださいませ。Please be careful not to take the interpretation receiver to home by mistake. Thank you very much for your participation today. 本日はご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございました。